Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the National Building Museum. I'm Eileen Fuchs. I'm the President and Executive Director. The National Building Museum was chartered by Congress to tell a national story about the building trades, about the built environment and its impact on our lives and our communities. To me, it is as simple as this. How are we going to design and build a better world at a moment when the stakes are so high? So it is with great pride and interest that we host the March Madness event today, where we learn, yeah, all right, that's good, there we go. March Madness, where we learn about real estate, business, and building priorities that are driving economic development and impact across this great city. I want to recognize and thank the mayor and the deputy mayor for their leadership as you focus on making D.C. a place for successful businesses, opportunity-rich neighborhoods, and thriving people. The National Building Museum is here to tell those stories to thousands of visitors around the world, convene community, industry, and policy players, and to inspire that next generation of innovators who will use the power of design and construction to improve lives and empower communities to thrive. So we are delighted to host today's event. The exhibits are open, the cafe is open. Thank you so much, and it is now my great pleasure and honor to welcome Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our 9th annual March Madness. I am pleased to welcome you on behalf of all of us in DC government. I want to give a big shout out to my team at DMPED, my big deal team. Give them a big round of applause. I also want to give a big round of applause to all the members of my administration who are here, including our director for DHCD. Give Colleen a big round of applause. The director of the DC Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment, Latoya Foster. The Department of Small and Local Businesses, Christy Whitfield. The DC Housing Authority, led by Brenda Donald, and a fabulous board. DC Parks and Recreation, led by Delano Hunter. The Department of General Services, led by Keith Anderson, as well as the Department of Buildings, Ernest Chopra, DC Greenbank, Destination DC, Office of Planning, led by Anita Hairston, and all of our DC government team. Give them a big round of applause. So what we are here to do today is to hear from your DC government that serves 700,000 Washingtonians with about $20 billion and demonstrate how the projects that we will present today will make the lives of DC residents better. We have some particular goals that have been outlined in our DC Comeback Plan that we're going to go over through the course of the day. But everything that we do is to strengthen our economy, improve our quality of life, and continue to make DC a thriving city and the best city in the world. So sit back, relax, enjoy, participate, write down the opportunities. Go after the opportunities. Grow your businesses. Hire DC residents. And then our jobs will be done. That's what we're here for. I see you, DOES. I didn't see you over there. So are you with me with that? Fantastic. So with that, I want to introduce Sharon Carney from DMPED, who's going to go over some comeback opportunities. Oh, I'm sorry. Before Sharon comes up, I wanted to introduce our council member, a very important council member because he's the oversight chair for much of this work, and the at-large council member, Kenya McDuffie.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I really appreciate being here this morning. I'm going to keep my remarks very brief because you all came here, obviously, for the wonderful things that are going to be announced at March Madness today. I'm Kenyon McDuffie, as the mayor said. I chair the council's Committee on Business and Economic Development. And I want to thank Madam Mayor Bowser, as well as her entire team at DMHED, and the great people who work within all the agencies that are represented today for your efforts to ensure that the District of Columbia's economic growth remains strong. Let's give Madam Mayor Muriel Bowser a round of applause. We've made some pretty strong and steady progress in the District of Columbia on our recovery, our small business growth, affordable housing, and jobs in the past year. And while we await the mayor's 2024 budget next week, we already know that sustaining that progress is going to be one of the top priorities of the Committee on Business and Economic Development and my colleagues at the council, I'm sure. We also realize the recovery from the pandemic has been uneven. And economic growth that the district has achieved still leaves out many in the community. Our work has to close those gaps that still exist. It's our obligation as government leaders to extend the confidence, the credit, and the resources of the District of Columbia government to remedy inequities that exist for disadvantaged minority business owners in the District of Columbia and all who seek to do business in our city. March Madness showcases the district's local procurement power and partnership opportunities for developers, construction and engineering firms, and tradespeople. Our economic engine both supports and depends on business opportunities for small minority and women-owned businesses, well-paying jobs for District of Columbia residents, and affordable housing. It supports and depends on all of you in this room who are eager to form partnerships, grow their businesses, and invest in district residents and workers and communities throughout our city, with the full support of the District of Columbia government. And as chair of the council's Committee on Business and Economic Development, I'm going to continue to advance programs that support and align the growth and success of our workers, our business owners, and our residents. Programs like the Commercial Property Acquisition Fund that I know has been a popular program across the District of Columbia, the Equity Impact Enterprises grants, and all the grants that are coming out of the various agencies that are represented here in the District of Columbia will continue to play a vital role in supporting development and equity as the fuel for the District of Columbia's economic growth. So I want to thank everybody for being here and participating today. And I also want to give a shout out to all my bison that are in the room as we take on Kansas University today at 2 o'clock. Go Bison. I'm going to give a one big H-U. You know. All right. Thank you, guys.
Well, good morning. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Eileen and the National Building Museum. Look around. This place is gorgeous. We are so excited to be hosting our 9th March Madness here today at the National Building Museum. I am Sharon Carney. I have the privilege of serving as Chief of Staff in the Office of the Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development. And I am here today as your MC on behalf of Deputy Mayor John Felchicchio. So I want to start with a little exercise, all right? This is number 9, 9th March Madness. If you're not standing already, please stand up. Just take a minute. Everyone stand up. All right, so if you have been to at least one March Madness in the past, I want you to keep standing. And if you haven't, if this is your first time, you can relax in your seats. All right? Okay. So we've got some first timers here. Very exciting. Let's hear it for our first timers. Okay. So if you've been to maybe 3 or 4 March Madnesses with DMHED, keep standing. All right? Okay. So we're looking at our experienced crowd or folks who don't have a seat. We got a lot of experienced March Madnessers here. Okay, so last one. Who's been to 8 March Madnesses? Is this your 9th March Madness? Take a seat. Okay, so now you are looking at our veterans, all right? We got some folks here who have been to 8. All right, thank you everybody. Everyone can take a seat. So whether you are brand new, first time, or the veteran March Madness goer, we have so much exciting stuff here for you today. In the words of my lovely colleague, Sabungali Cook, So much yummy goodness, all right? We've got 15 agencies. We have dozens of forthcoming RFPs, RFAs, and we are excited to share that with you today. So our theme is DC's Comeback. In January, Mayor Bowser released DC's Comeback Plan. This charts the course for economic development over the next 5 years. It sets some big goals to grow minority businesses, to retain and grow our population, to create new jobs. And the opportunities that we're going to talk about today are the vehicle to accelerating that plan and reaching those goals. So we are excited to partner with you. We're also going to hear today some stories from people and businesses and communities who have benefited from the types of programs and projects that we're going to talk about. And so, to get things started, we're going to see a video from a very delicious, yummy delicious DC business, and I will turn it over to the video. Thank you, everybody.
I'm April Richardson, owner and operator of DC Sweet Potato Cake. We saw an opportunity to come to downtown DC during the George Floyd protests in DC. My company was shut down at the time during the protest because of the pandemic. And something in me said, how about if we would take people that are protesting cupcakes in order to bring something beautiful to something that is so sad. I stood on the B that was written on the ground that said Black Lives Matter. It was probably 1 day old. And I said, at some point, I'm going to open a store within walking distance of this B. And I had no idea that 2 years later, the opportunity will come for me to open on K Street. A piece of advice that I have for entrepreneurs is to get out of your own way. I advise hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs, not from a bakery owner, but from a 20-year practicing business attorney. First, you have to decide that you will be in business, and then you have to strategize around that. But the strategy is mainly in part an innate strategy that allows people to say, it's my time, I can do it, and no matter what the circumstance and obstacle will be, I'm going to jump over it. It's just part of being in business.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to introduce April Richardson, founder and CEO of DC Sweet Potato Cake.
I am April Richardson, an attorney, an entrepreneur, a mother, a manufacturer of baked goods, and more importantly, owner of DC Sweet Potato Cake, DC's newest downtown retail bakery. The products that are found in Starbucks, and Wegmans, in Nordstrom, and Safeway, and on air on QVC. And I remember one time being on QVC thinking that I couldn't do it, but when I sold $90,000 worth of products in 6 minutes, I knew that the time was now. You see, I opened my bakery last year in downtown DC after major retailers and restaurateurs left our city. I couldn't understand why they would leave such a beautiful city bare and empty. To me, it was a failed attempt to snatch the life out of downtown DC, and while I understood the risk of opening during a hopeless time, I ran into DC because my eyes only saw opportunity. During the pandemic, I came close to losing my manufacturing facility in Baltimore. And for me to stay in business, I was looking for a sign to tell me to stay the course. And I distinctly remember that sign. In 2020, at home, I watched DC residents and tourists and supporters flood the streets and protest to yell out, "Say her name." And it was something about the phrase, "say her name," that moved me into action. Y'all remember that time in 2020? Nod your head if you do. It was a deep connection to the chant, "Say her name." It was a reminder that Black women are often overlooked in various capacities, like in business, and they forget about us even in our death. But when millions of people around the world chant in solidarity, say her name, the energy that brings life to us and puts us at the forefront as leaders in all industries is the energy that we need in order to propel ourselves forward. Say her name became a mission to me, to be louder, to be bolder, to make stronger decisions, and to encourage people to recognize that small businesses are the cornerstone of moving cities forward. In 2020, I stood on that yellow B that was painted on 16th and K that our dear mayor mandated to let people know that Black lives do matter. And in the midst of the protests and in the midst of the chant, I decided to open a bakery in the Golden Triangle within walking distance of that yellow B. That became my North Star. With no roadmap as to how or where I would open, I knew that it would happen because of the spirit of Breonna Taylor, the spirit of other women in the city, and the support that I would receive from DC in some type of capacity would embolden me to manifest my destiny. When I received an opportunity to introduce my friend, I couldn't wait, because yet again I get to say another powerful woman's name. And by saying her name, it brings her honor. So with your hands, help me to welcome a leader, a woman that when she walks into any room, she brings an undeniable magnetic energy. So in the spirit of DC's newest tagline, obviously we welcome Sabangale Cook. Thank you.
All right. I have no words now. I have nothing to say. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. I am extremely honored and delighted to be here for my 9th March Madness. This is my 9th. But very quickly, what I want to do is I would like to invite our grantees of 2 funds that just closed. So we'd like to give them a moment to recognize our small, medium business growth grantees. If you can come to the stage, please. And those Nourish DC grantees from round 2, if you can come to the stage, please. Well, I'll talk very quickly about what these are. And so our Nourish DC program is an opportunity for us to think about how do we build a local, fresh ecosystem. Come right on up to the stage. Yep. And so our second round, we've closed 13 different grantees, capital impact partners. If you are here in the room, come on down. Love to see you here. Capital Impact Partners is the one that has been working so diligently with us. The opportunity here again is these Nourish DC recipients are grantees. Over $900,000 in grants and loans and technical assistance has been provided to 13 different businesses here in DC to continue to advance and create fresh food opportunities all over the city. Do we like that? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And then our Small Medium Business Growth Fund recipients, come on up. There's plenty of space. Yep. Our Small Medium Business Growth participants and grantees, this was the first time that we had an opportunity to create a grant that provided funds not only to brick and mortar retailers, but professional services, small business development projects that are going on as well. So it was kind of like a 3-in-1 program. And it didn't matter where you were in this city. If you had a competitive application that said, I have a vision, I have a plan, please give me a little bit of money to help me out, we were there for you. Yes? Does that make sense? We like that? We do like that, yes? Okay. I want to congratulate these amazing entrepreneurs, disruptors here in DC. If you'd like to see all of their names, it's back there on our table. We're going to do a big old check and a picture with Madam Mayor to acknowledge these amazing businesses here. Please get up off your chairs and let's give them a round of applause, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sharon is going to continue to share more yummy goodness.
All right, thank you so much, Sabangali and April. As we heard from April, supporting our small businesses is about so much more than the goods and the services and the amenities that they're providing to our communities. These leaders are the people who are really driving our recovery. And so DEMPED is incredibly happy to be able to deploy the wide range of programs that are helping small businesses. Next, we are going to turn to one of my favorite agencies with possibly the hardest acronym, OCTFME. LaToya Foster, Director, I would love to welcome you to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am LaToya Foster. I am Mayor Bowser's newly appointed Director of the Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment, and a veteran March Madnesser. So I am here representing OCTFME. I serve at OCTFME as a film commissioner. I also head Mayor Bowser's Creative Affairs Office, and I manage Mayor Bowser's 202 Creates initiative. OCTFME truly encompasses all things entertainment for the city and fuels the creative economy. With that said, let me share a little bit about OCTFME with you. We run 3 DC government-owned television stations, DCN, where you can check out Mayor Bowser's press conferences each day, DKN, which is our District Knowledge Network, and DCC, which is our DC Council television station, where you can see all of our council hearings. We also have, now you all may not know about this, our 24-hour streaming network, DCE. So while you're flipping through Netflix and Hulu, check out DCE. We also have a DC radio, which is in partnership with WHUR 96.3. We serve as a cable television regulatory entity, providing customer service for cable subscribers, and we support, promote, develop, highlight, educate, showcase, and celebrate our city's creative businesses. We are committed to entertainment opportunities that amplify our city and connect our creative community and build revenue for downtown DC and across all 8 wards of our great city. We know that music is the heart and the soul of our city. We just recently celebrated the anniversary of Mayor Bowser and the council signing Go-Go as the official music of DC. We can clap for that. And we are supporting and applauding our local artists who are repping our city right as we speak. We have Go-Go artists at South by Southwest, and they're even representing us as far as Tanzania. We have a concert series that we hope that you all will be just as excited about as we are, that's kicking off as a part of the Cherry Blossom pop-ups. We got a Jazz and Bloom pop-up taking place at Union Station, followed by Mayor Bowser's much anticipated annual Emancipation Day on April 15th. And then we spring into our Spring and Summer Madness concert series and pop-ups through the fall, which will also feature talented creatives from the district area, along with national artists with a connection to our nation's capital. OCTFME's entertainment experiences support our creative and business communities, drive foot traffic, and generate buzz that will increase downtown revenue. We all know the power of working together collaboratively, and our strategic partnerships are critical to the success of our city and Mayor Bowser's comeback plan. So we want to thank the chapter of the Recording Academy, or as you all know it, our Grammys chapter here in Washington, D.C., as well as the Kennedy Center, Union Station, and the Downtown DC Business Improvement District, also known as the BID. I don't know if Jaron Price is here, but we've been meeting regularly to talk about how we bring our city back. They are partnering with OCTFME to curate the best in local and national entertainment to drive excitement and economic growth to DC's downtown corridor. OCTFME is also bringing diverse productions to our nation's capital through the DC Film Rebate Fund, and that mission is to advance economic development and recovery in the district, support creative economy infrastructure development, incentivize the creation of creative economy jobs for DC residents, encourage the use of the district as a media production hub, and create a sustainable environment for DC-based minority-owned production companies. You see, DC is a major hub for film, television, and entertainment productions, and we are just getting started. In just 6 short years, the DC Film Rebate Fund has generated over $160 million in total direct and induced impact, $53 million in total direct economic impact. We have 64 DC Rebate Fund Production Company awardees, and we have created over 1,700 DC cast and crew jobs, resulting in over $6 million in compensation for DC residents. Now here's a snapshot of what's to come. We have a new film that's coming right here to Washington, D.C. that is being produced by NAACP award nominees Chuck and Bree West. They are a power couple, as well as the award-winning Edmonds Entertainment, led by none other than award-winning producer Tracy Edmonds. We have our esports event coming to the Entertainment and Sports Arena, Blast, which is a premier spring event taking place. And I know you all will be excited about this. We have Marvel coming to Washington, D.C. Now, I can't give you too much about that, but let me tell you, we're going to have a huge Marvel film taking place right in downtown that you won't want to miss out on. And then we have the DC Docs Documentary Film Festival, and we have the Because They're Funny Comedy Festival with the American Black Film Festival and our friends at Event DC, led by my predecessor, Dr. Angie Gates. And then boxing is returning to the city. As you all may have seen, we had Gervonta Davis here just a couple of months ago, and we are bringing the Beltway battles back to the city as well. So needless to say, as you all know, DC is open, and we're open, and we are ready for you to join us on set in the nation's capital. We want you to partner with us at OCTFME and discover your leading role in the district as we connect established and emerging creatives, advance local communities, and fuel the downtown DC economy. So Mayor Bowser, as you say, come be a part of something big. OCTFME looks forward to connecting with all of you all. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Director Foster. This city is so creative, and we are so glad to have OCTFME helping to cultivate that talent, create new opportunities for our creative economy. Next, I want to welcome the director of our Department of Small and Local Business Development, Christy Whitfield, to the stage. Director Whitfield.
Good morning, everybody. So, as Sharon said, my name is Christy Whitfield. It is my honor to serve Mayor Bowser as her director of the Department of Small and Local Business Development. Raise your hand if you know what a CBE is. Okay, all right, that's great. Well, listen, we're here to talk about deals today, and so I'm not going to be up here for a long time. But there's some things that need to be noted, and you know, April started with say her name. I'm going to say Mayor Bowser's name. I'm going to say Mayor Bowser did that. Mayor Bowser is the first mayor to make sure that the CBE inclusion laws are held up. Mayor Bowser is the first one to write it down in the Green Book. Mayor Bowser was the first one to collect a fine for people who had a situation making those participations. I'm the first mayor. No. She's the first mayor. I'm the first director to collect that fine on the mayor's behalf and put it back into the pockets of small business. This is the first mayor to break the unfathomable barrier of spending $1 billion with certified business enterprises. Clap for that, Mayor. And then once we did it, she said this is no longer the ceiling, it's the floor. And so our goal this year is over $1 billion, spend $1.16 billion we're going to spend at least with small businesses this year. I just said we're going to spend over $1 billion this year. Come on now. So I used to think, and honestly I've said this to people, that sometimes in different arenas I think people saw DSLBD as just like the Green Book on a stick. Like, the Green Book, we're here for the Green Book. But I want to just say briefly, we do 1 or 2 or 17 other things. We work to help people get, contracts with the federal government with our PTAC team. We run the Made in DC program. We run the commercial revitalization program, which has almost 30 main streets across the city and over 30 clean teams, keeping our corridors clean and safe and attractive. We work to do innovative things like help returning citizens find a pathway to entrepreneurship through our Aspire program. We run a Dream Pitch program for businesses in Wards 7 and 8. The shortcut version is, whatever your business is, DSLBD is here to meet you where you are and help you take that next step. Now, I often say it is unrealistic to try and build your business on grants, right? We need cash flow. But we also know that our businesses need a little help. And so obviously DC shows where some of that help is. And one of those resources available from DSLBD right now, the Robust Retail Grants, which will close on April 10th. I'm a small business entrepreneur. I know y'all don't have a million years to be filling out these things. If it takes you 10 minutes, call me and let me know, okay? So listen to the deals, as the mayor said, write down those deals, and then what are we gonna do, people? We're gonna go get that money, right? Thanks, everybody.
All right, April 10th, you got that? The deadline for the Robust Retail, and you can find details for Robust Retail and all of our other grant programs at obviously.dc.gov, all right? So DC's comeback plan sets a very bold goal of increasing the share of minority-owned businesses in the district over the next 5 years. And Robust Retail and a lot of the programs that we just heard about are a part of what's going to help make that happen. Another important part of our plan is about bringing the people, all right? So we're talking tourists and visitors, which is incredibly important to our economy. So next, I am going to introduce a very important partner of DemPed in the district, Zoe Roberts from Destination DC, our destination marketing organization. Hey, Zoe.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zoe Roberts. I am a membership associate at Destination DC, our destination management organization. So for those who aren't familiar with us, we are the official organization that markets and sells Washington as a leisure and business travel destination. Many people know us through our website, Washington.org, or have seen some of our viral TikToks on our wonderful monuments, memorials, and museums. I am really excited to be here this morning, sharing good news on the state of our tourism industry and how you can get on it as a small business owner. Starting with some numbers on the next slide, in 2021, visitors spent $5.1 billion in the district. As we continue to recover from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, we anticipate this number will only go up from here. We should have our 2022 numbers shortly. So, as we are making our big comeback as an industry, our sales and marketing teams are working hard to continue promoting the city and bringing meetings and events to the district. So if you want to maximize your benefit from this growth, we encourage you to partner with us through our membership program. If you're a business that touches visitors or are consumer facing, you will benefit from partnering with us. This can be anything from a transportation company to a florist or just a sandwich shop on the corner, and extends beyond the traditional tourist areas. At DDC, we partner with about 1,000 member businesses in the DC metro area, offering sales and marketing support. As our teams work with clients, groups, and events coming to our area, they connect them to members who can provide services to meet their travel and event needs. In addition to these direct referrals coming from our sales and services team, members also have access to a robust community of businesses through networking and educational events, dedicated web pages on our biggest platform, Washington.org, monthly data reports that can inform your staffing and your sales strategies, and an opportunity to engage with clients directly with our support and guidance. If you're a small business, another great way to partner with us is through our DEI Business Fellowship, which is a program that I manage. This program was launched in the fall of 2021 as a purposeful effort to engage, highlight, and promote businesses owned and operated by historically underrepresented groups. That's women, people of color, veterans, disabled persons, the LGBTQ+ community. And we did this in an effort to recognize the need to better tell the story of our district and have a member base that reflects the culture of our district. This year also includes a purposeful effort to highlight all 8 wards and across different business types. So we decided to do this through promotion, of course, but also through dollars. So the DEI Business Fellowship provides these businesses with 1 free year of membership with Destination DC and exclusive sales and marketing trainings with our team. This year we have a cohort of 36 businesses, 2 of which are in the room today, D-City Smokehouse and Fish Scale. And we are slowly making our way through our year of programming. Applications for our 2024 cohort will be opening in the fall. So if you want to learn more about eligibility or how to apply, feel free to contact me at zoe@washington.org. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. And I'm really excited to see what our comeback looks like this year. And I thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Thank you, Zoe. So our small businesses are also incredibly important employers. And as we think about DC's comeback, economic mobility of our residents, creating new opportunities for jobs and careers is a huge part of it. Next, we're going to shift into our workforce component of today's agenda. And we'll start off with a story from a business owner that's creating all kinds of opportunities for economic mobility in DC.
My name is Darrell Gaston. I'm owner of Kitchen Savages. My name is Darrell Gaston. I'm owner of Kitchen Savages. People come to Kitchen Savages to eat food without worrying about consequences. You know, as a child of Ward 8, as a child of DC who was born right around the corner, it was intentional that not only did I open my restaurant in my community, but I hired people who look just like me. With the unemployment rate of hovering around 10%, I could have easily hired someone with the best experience, but that would not have done what I wanted to do, which is violent prevention, which is lowering unemployment in my community. And I believe that hiring people who look like me in my community, it gives them a sense of pride. And so with the Kitchen Savages coming to Anacostia, 18 out of 23 employees live in Ward 8. Without the Neighborhood Prosperity Fund, we probably would not have been able to open. As a Black business owner, as a restaurateur, as someone who has tried to open up a restaurant east of the river, gone through every CDFI bank, every nonprofit, every traditional bank, and given the answer no, the mayor stepped in and said, you know what, we believe in your vision, we believe in what you're doing, and gave us an opportunity. I've never thought that this young Black boy from Southeast would be making a difference, right? And that difference is protecting and saving my community.
So next, I'd like to bring up Dr. Unique Morris-Hughes, who leads our Department of Employment Services. The district can be a partner to your business, and Dr. Morris-Hughes is going to talk through some of those opportunities.
All right. Good morning, everybody. So my name is Dr. Unique Morris-Hughes, and I am the director of the DC Department of Employment Services. And many of you probably know me from unemployment insurance or the Marion Barry Summer Youth Employment Program or paid family leave. But I lead a few hundred economic first responders, many of which are at Minnesota Avenue, and we have a very complex but important job. So not only do I pay out benefits, not only do we get young people summer jobs, but we close gaps, we flood the pipeline with talent, and we lower the unemployment rate. So Mayor, you said something, and I've been saying it to everybody, said it to my daughter, I told her to write it down. I said, you know how you keep winning? You keep winning. And so Mayor, I'm proud to say that unemployment is at a historic low east of the river. In Ward 7, We are at 7%, and in Ward 8, we are just at 9%. Now, when you started as mayor, unemployment was in double digits, much, much higher. But Mayor, we close gaps. Mayor, we win, and we're going to continue to win by winning. So with that being said, I want to talk about some more gaps that we're going to close and some more opportunities that we're going to provide, and that's through our entrepreneurship showcase that we'll be having for returning citizen businesses. Now, I work for an agency that believes not only in second chances, but third chances, fourth chances, and some of us are on our fifth or sixth chance. But it was because someone believed in us, they gave us an opportunity, we've been able to succeed. So we're going to do the same thing. We're hosting a Returning Citizens Business Owner Showcase. We will be highlighting the returning citizens that come through our programs. We'll be connecting them with our first source businesses. We will be connecting them with skilled labor and talent, because we know if we can build and create businesses, those businesses will hire DC residents. The next thing I'd like to highlight, and next slide please, is the DC Infrastructure Academy. Now, 5 years ago, Mayor, folks thought we were crazy. Before the bipartisan infrastructure law, they thought, what would you do in the District of Columbia with an infrastructure plan or training academy? But we listened to the community. When the community said, bring back trades, bring back training that's going to focus on construction, we built it, and Mayor, you delivered. So this May, we'll be celebrating 5 years of the DC Infrastructure Academy. We will have activities every day during the week of May, where we will not only highlight the skilled talent that we've been able to build, but we will talk about all of the opportunities for communities of color to participate in green and the infrastructure industries. So Mayor, I promise you we will keep on winning. Thank you, everyone.
So thank you, Dr. Morris-Hughes. Another huge part of DC's comeback plan is our downtown. Our downtown has historically driven our ability to invest in affordable housing, social services, education, and so much more. And we know that it's facing some headwinds. As Mayor Bowser has talked about in her inaugural address, we like to set big goals, big, bold goals. And one of the goals in DC's comeback plan is to bring 15,000 new residents to our downtown over the next 5 years. How do we do that? It's not an easy task, but we've got a plan. This next panel, we're going to talk with a few people who can give us some perspective on what it's going to take to really think about the next downtown, the transformation of the economic engine of our district. I'd like to welcome to the stage Ben Mendez and our panel to talk about housing in downtown.
Can everybody hear me? We have 15 minutes to get into quite a big topic, so we're going to try and get into this really quick. My name is Ben Mendez. I'm the Deputy Chief of Staff at DEMPED. And today we've been talking a lot about different opportunities, different requests for proposals, different grant opportunities, different workforce opportunities. This is quite a big opportunity. It's an opportunity of place. And we wanted to focus a little bit on why now? Why does it make sense now to reinvigorate downtown with a little bit more housing and what that looks like on the ground? And I think I want to introduce our panelists who will help us talk about that today from different perspectives. Jaron Price, who's the president and CEO of the Downtown DC BID, Michael Abrams, the managing director at Folger Pratt, and Stephanie Jennings, who's a research director at CBRE Mid-Atlantic. And again, we have a short amount of time here, so we're going to jump right into it and see exactly why this is the time to strike for reaching the mayor's 15,000 new residents goal in the next 5 years. We talk a lot about the economic engine that is downtown, Jaron. Sharon mentioned it. We've talked about it a few times today. Can you just help us understand what that really means? What is the impact of the downtown economic engine on our district's economy?
Ben, that's such a good question, and it always excites me when I hear folks refer to downtown as the economic engine of the city, because it's true. When you think about what an engine does, my grandfather was a taxi cab driver here in the city, and he could fix any vehicle that there was. We would always tell you an engine exists because it converts energy to propel motion. So converts energy to propel motion. And when I think about the energy, what are the inputs of energy that exist in a downtown? When you think about it, what makes downtown exciting and vibrant to you? It's the people, it's the vibe, it's the buzz. It's just that excitement you feel when you see other people interacting and moving. So it's our thriving, world-acclaimed restaurant scene. It's all of the cultural institutions, museums, theaters that attract people, the culture that is developed and reflected in our art. It's the events that happen at the Capital One Arena. It's the conventions and the folks who come here as a destination, the tourists who visit. So all of that energy is sort of taken and cultivated, and it's propelled into financial motion for the city. And when you think about what that economic engine does in terms of the numbers and the data, pre-pandemic, our net fiscal impact just for the 1 square mile that the downtown DC Business Improvement District actually represents, which is roughly between like North Capitol Street and 16th Street, we're talking a net fiscal impact of $805 million pre-pandemic. Now, as the pandemic hit and we start to see less foot traffic, less pedestrians, less office workers by day, those numbers start to trickle down. Those sales revenues start to dry up a bit. And what we've seen is a decline in that net fiscal impact, where in FY21, we're down to $563 million. Now, you don't want to see 800 million go down to 500, right? We want to see that number trickle up. And so now more than ever, it's critical that we make the investments in our engine to make sure that we're continuing to propel forward and really bringing back the full economic potential the city has.
And you touched on this, some of the economic impacts pre-pandemic. We are now facing some headwinds that Sharon alluded to, that you touched on a little bit. And just earlier this month, I think the Chief Financial Officer alluded to some headwinds that we might have in the next few years, driven largely by some of the commercial properties downtown. And Stephanie, I was wondering if you could give us a little bit of a sense, a snapshot almost, of what is happening in the office market downtown, and why is this the time to really think about and consider introducing new housing in our downtown?
Sure. So this is a very uplifting day. I've unfortunately been brought here to talk about the downside of things, so forgive me. But there are some themes. We're at a challenging time in the kind of down cycle. The market is cyclical. It always picks up again. So this is just kind of the tough time of things. Whether cyclical, there are some structural changes happening, largely due to the pandemic. But I guess the way, these also present opportunities and ways to reimagine our cities and our spaces. So remember that in the context of the challenges that I'm about to talk about. But the themes that we're really keeping track of right now are paying very close attention to. There are a few of them. One is what we would call a bifurcated market. There is a very strong, what we would say, flight to quality. So there's a very active market in the kind of top echelon of buildings, recently renovated, new construction, lots of amenities, those kinds of buildings and spaces. But as you move down the tiers of buildings, the demand starts to wane. And vacancy is concentrated in older buildings, what we would call Class B and C buildings. That trend had been happening throughout the last market cycle, but really accelerated during the pandemic. Two factors: one, uncertainty, largely driven by broader economic challenges, and return to office trends. And the flight to quality also presents the opportunity for tenants to downsize. So we're seeing a lot of space coming back to the market, even when there is activity. And then we're seeing space coming back to the market because some tenants are able to leverage hybrid and remote work policies to kind of shed some space too. That's great. And I think it's important to note that, residential downtown is one way we can kind of restore vibrancy to the city. But not every building is able to be converted to residential. And I think
it's really important to kind of really see what the market's doing at a high level, but also zoom in and see how these projects are actually working. Where are these projects actually happening, and why are those buildings the ones that we're seeing have more potential for residential? And I want to bring in Michael. I know you have an active project right now, blocks from the White House in our downtown. Can you talk a little bit about the status of that project and maybe a little bit more about why you chose that building and why that property represented an opportunity?
So we actually have two projects downtown, one on New York Avenue between 14th and 15th Streets, and then another on 19th Street between L and M. And, you know, to Stephanie's comments about the marketplace, we saw the value of these functionally or economically obsolete buildings start to decline to a point where they were really almost approximating land value. And so we had spent several years really studying, you know, what buildings work well, what buildings are too expensive to convert, what buildings have parking, what buildings don't, what buildings are in locations that we think offer a premium rent versus others that may not. And so we have tried to wind our way through the marketplace and find those buildings where the kind of the rent proposition and the building value and cost to convert proposition start to become attractive. Now that whole process has been really derailed a bit by kind of the current economic conditions, which have caused really the economic returns to be very challenged. And so we have been working very closely with the mayor's staff and DemPed to try and craft an incentive program that truly provides an incentive for the development of these projects to get the economics to a place where they make sense and to weave as much as possible the other policy goals that the city has. But I think you are starting to see those economics start to fall into place, and hopefully by the time this incentive package really gets locked down, we'll start to have more clarity around the economics of what it takes. But to be honest, these buildings need a lot of rent, and it's in large part because we saw a lot of rent in these very close-in, kind of A-plus locations that had B- to C, properties. And so it's that nexus between the two that is making this possible. And so the A space will continue to be A office space, but more and more frequently, these buildings that are built kind of 1990 and earlier, those buildings are becoming more and more functionally obsolete, and those are the places where these opportunities should continue to kind of layer into the marketplace.
And I know we have about 1 million square feet right now in the pipeline that is switching to residential, transforming to residential. Just to go back to 1425 New York a little bit, I think we do have a slide that shows a little bit of what that transformation might look like.
Right.
I know this says 1425K, maybe that's the next building, but 1425 New York.
This is actually, it's New York Avenue. We are through the design and permitting process, and we're working on raising the capital. This is about a $140 million project. I'm looking across the way. $200 million. The price has gone up as we've sat here. But they're expensive. They're complex, but they can be done. I would draw the analogy. It's the difference between building a production house and building a custom house, and these are very custom. Every building has its unique attributes, physically, economically, locationally, and so it's a very kind of nuanced process to get to viability. But again, you have very attractive locations. While there may not be the richness of amenities today for residents in these locations, you've got a 50 million square foot office market between the CBD and the East End. You have, I think, 1,000 apartments. I mean, that ratio really leaves lots of room to layer in residential, and then hopefully the amenities will come. Some of the incentives will encourage more of that. And so, we certainly see this creating a much more diverse and resilient downtown in the long run. But you almost have to visualize it fast forward 10 years and imagine what this combination of uses can become and how appealing that ultimately will be.
That's really helpful, and I think I wanted to kind of go into that crystal ball a little bit. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we've stated a goal to have 15,000 new residents come to our downtown in projects just like this. And maybe, Stephanie, as you look into the crystal ball a little bit in the next couple of years, can you just help us understand why this is such an important moment to act and to kind of encourage these types of projects to happen?
Sure. So I think the name of the game is life on the streets and mixed-use development. There's been for a long time now kind of renewed interest in urban living, and that really I think what people really mean by that is mixed use. So the vibrancy that you see, our downtown is very predominantly office driven. And so rethinking some of the vacancies that we're seeing as residential, could be an important piece of the puzzle. I think another factor is that the pandemic, I think, really has changed the way that we work and the way that we use office space. One of the things that people are reacting to in a kind of return to office is long commutes, and DC has very long average commutes. So in some ways, it makes a lot of sense to put residential units, right in the mix with office space and reduce that commute. So in many levels, it's, it solves a lot of problems.
And we've been talking about this, and everyone has kind of said our downtown. We are really kind of creating a downtown for people. Right now, I think it's associated with our workers and our visitors, but this is a place for workers and visitors and residents, and creating a downtown for us. I think, Jaron, when you see projects like this, you talk about the kind of opportunity that Stephanie's talking about in this moment, what does that kind of mean for you? You live and breathe downtown every day. What does the prospect of these 15,000 new residents mean for the downtown bid?
I think this is exactly what we're here for. This is exciting. It is looking to the future. I think that goal that the mayor set out, 15,000 new residents, is totally doable. And I think it's something that we want to continue to push for and even see more. When I look into that crystal ball, I really see downtown DC, being a community where people belong and where people are excited to be there and they love living there. It's livable, it's walkable, and there's easy access to all of those amenities that make any community a great place to live. And it also leans into that unique value proposition of being a center and a hub as a leading global destination where people, on a global, national, and local scale, they want to be around that energy. And so I think it's just no better opportunity than now to really lean in on making our downtown a central part of our vision for the future of the city.
That's great. And I've been getting the universal signal that this is the end of our 15 minutes. But I just wanted to thank our panelists and acknowledge the DemPed team who's been working on engaging with stakeholders around this, and to really understand that we are trying to figure out exactly how we can best encourage these types of projects to come to fruition. So thank you all. Thank you for joining us. I'll hand it back to Sharon.
Well, thank you for the real talk, Michael and Stephanie and Jaron. Jaron talked about something that I think is really important, and that's energy. And where does energy come from? It comes from people. So the challenge is not insignificant, but I want you to look around, to your left, to your right. These are the people who can tackle big challenges together. We're going to take a 10-minute break. And I invite you all to use that time to get to know some of your partners because you're all partners in this comeback. We'll be back in 10 minutes to talk about real estate, housing, and the Vitality Fund. See you soon. All right, I am going to call our panel to the stage. We are getting started with the second half of March Madness, starting with the Vitality Fund. So come grab a seat and please give a round of applause to our next panel, who will focus on the Vitality Fund. Sabungli Cook, come on up. All right. And please join us, our panelists. We've got Conley Henderson McIntyre, Benjamin Kazda, and Billy Mann joining us today. So we're going to kick off the second half of March Madness. Time to find your seat. We've got real estate, housing, and then food. So we spent a little bit of time in the first half of March Madness talking about the transformation and the recovery of our downtown. And we spent a lot of time talking about one of the prongs of our downtown strategy, which is changing the space, lots of new housing. This next session, we're going to talk about another important component of that strategy, which is filling the space, all right? And we talk about filling the space through business attraction, retention, and expansion. So we're going to move to our panel discussion. We're going to listen to our panelists, all right? So all the outside conversation is going to come back to the stage. We've got some panelists here to share their perspective, and we've got some news, all right? So who here has heard of the Vitality Funds? Give me a raised hand, all right? Yes, I see some folks who know the Vitality Funds. It is one of our most exciting tools for filling the space, for supporting businesses and creating jobs with a big focus on downtown. All right, this is a performance-based program that helps companies that choose to commit long-term to locating in DC. All right? Today, I am really happy to welcome a few companies that have been approved for the Vitality Fund, who have committed to locate in DC. All right, so Virtru, we announced a couple of months ago, is here with us today. All right, we are glad to have Conley with us. And I am excited to announce that we have two new approved applicants to the Vitality Fund, KTGY. All right, let's give them a round. And Quadrant Strategies. So all of these companies, thank you Quadrant, are here today. Our Director of Business Development and Strategy, Sabungali Cook, is going to kick off a conversation. I'm going to turn it over to you, Sabungali.
Okay, I'm back again. Thank you, Sharon, for that awesome introduction and a quick high-level summary of the Vitality Fund. And so it's really an honor and extremely exciting to see a new incentive that the mayor has introduced recently, and it is working. And so we're really excited that these three companies are here with us today. I want to do less talking and have them do all the talking. And so very quickly, I'm going to reintroduce them again. We have Billy Mann, Managing Partner of Quadrant Strategies here. Benjamin Kazdan here from KTGY, I can't read, group. And then also Conley Henderson McIntyre from Virtru here. So welcome. Very excited that you're here. Why don't we start with Ms. Conley? And why don't you just do a quick introduction, tell us about Virtru really shortly.
Happy to be here. So Virtru, we are a DC-based company, obviously, and we were founded in DC by two brothers who are both DC natives. And so DC is a very important part of Virtru and who we are and our identity as a company. And we're a data privacy encryption software company. And so we are really looking forward to adding cyber jobs, especially for emerging talent in DC.
Thank you so much. All right. Next, Billy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your company and why you're located here?
All right. Well, thank you for having us. And my name is Billy Mann. I'm one of the co-founders of Quadrant Strategies. We're a consulting firm, and we use market research to help Fortune 100 companies manage their communication and reputation and marketing strategies. And we are headquartered in DC, and thanks to the Vitality Fund, we will be expanding significantly in DC.
Wonderful, thank you. So Benjamin, you both Virtue and your company as well, Quadrant Strategies, you all are based here and expanded here and were able to use Vitality Fund for that purpose. Now I'm going to pivot to Benjamin. Benjamin, tell us a little bit about your company and why you chose to come to DC.
Yeah, thank you for having us. KTGY is a national architecture and design firm. Started in California a little over 30 years ago. We're sort of an all things housing firm. We do all sorts of housing. I co-lead a studio along with my partner Cameron, who's in the audience, and we do multifamily housing, almost all urban infill, mixed use kinds of projects. And we've been in the DMV in Northern Virginia since 2010. We're expanding and sort of ran out of space in our current office, and if we have to move, we're looking for a way to inspire our people and be more aspirational about the kinds of work that we do.
Fantastic, thank you. So we have two businesses that were already here that expanded, and one, as you heard from Benjamin, that relocated here, an attraction opportunity. So very excited about that. Can you tell us a little bit about how Vitality Fund played a decision in you staying here or coming to DC? Anybody can start.
So to quote one of my mentors, he used to say, this is like the icing on the gravy. I know that's kind of gross, but so we'd already decided we're going to come to the district for a number of reasons I just mentioned. But the Vitality Fund just made it that much easier to make that decision. Obviously, there's a lot of change that comes with relocating from Virginia to the district, and it really helped us to be able to do that and to convince our other partners across the country that this is the right move now.
Yeah, for us, we are a talent-based business. It is about getting the best possible people, and DC is a fantastic city to get the best talent in the country, both coming out of the universities here and then from across the country. People love coming to DC and working. We're also in multiple cities across the country and in Europe, and we're growing very quickly. And as we try and decide where we are going to put our largest offices, finances obviously comes into that equation, and the Vitality Fund was fantastic. Other cities do things, so learning that DC has this was just fantastic. We wanted our headquarters to be in DC. There's nowhere else I'd rather work. This is where I live with my family, and it made it that much easier, as Ben said, to make the decision.
And I would second that to what Billy said, and that DC is part of our identity, and the Vitality Fund really allowed us to expand our footprint here, because we are basically not even doubling our square footage, but we're almost tripling it. So we're really able to expand our footprint in DC and grow jobs and opportunities, especially for a lot of emerging talent, and the Vitality Fund's a big part of that.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that. So also, how have your plans for in-person work changed or been modified as you all are expanding and relocating here to DC?
So for us, as we're building this new office, and we're going from 7,000 square feet to basically 18,000 square feet, we're thinking, okay, we need to create a space that people want to come into, but then also, what is the purpose of this space? And we're thinking collaboration. We want our people to collaborate together, but also with the community. So we're building a space, too, that will engage the DC community and has an external piece to it that we can bring, trainings in for and job fair, and also speakers. And so we're really thinking about collaborating with internally, but also externally with DC when building this space. And I just think the way of in-person work has really changed with the pandemic, of being very intentional about how you're working in person, but it's so important to still work in person, because that's where the best collaboration happens. And then when you are collaborating with very different people from very, very different backgrounds, that's when you get the best ideas too. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nice. Thank you, Conley.
We've become much more deliberate with in-person work. Where you work matters, and if we're going to be together, let's provide an experience that is inspirational, that's aspirational for the clients and the fellow design professionals that visit us. And we're able to provide kind of a world-class experience for our staff when we get into this world-class building, and it's surrounded by a vibrant urban fabric that really doesn't exist in that many cities in the world, and it's going to be a pleasure to be there when we get there soon.
Fantastic. How about you?
Similar story. It's about collaboration. It works better when we are together in person, but the way that people work has changed during the pandemic, and so the office that we have now isn't optimized for that, and having the opportunity to design something from scratch, it's part of the reason why we're more than tripling our footprint. It takes more space to work in the way that people work today, but it's also going to make it a lot more fun for our folks when they come in and make it a more productive experience for everybody.
No, I love that. Thank you so much. Last question, and then we'll get off the stage. Tell me a little bit about what do you guys see as benefits and opportunities to now being here in D.C., staying and expanding, and then you coming into D.C. You guys touched on it a little bit, but are there some other benefits that you see here that continue to make this the place that you want your employees to be in your office to be located?
I mean, we're architects, so we love cities. And so to relocate from the suburbs into the city, that's a big deal. It's a big deal for our people. And for KTGY as a whole, to switch it from Tysons, Virginia to Washington, D.C., that actually ups the prominence of our company nationally as well.
I like that. How about you, Ms. Conley?
I will reiterate what Billy said a little bit earlier about the talent of DC. DC has an excellent talent pool, and we're very excited to be able to provide opportunities for the DC talent pool, and that's a big part of staying and expanding in DC. And there's just a lot of opportunity to be part of the DC community and all the things that you can do in DC. So it's also a place to really attract talent that may not live in DC, to bring them back to DC as well, because it has so much to offer.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Conley. Dr. Morris Hughes, I think we need to make sure that Virtua gets connected to the Department of Employment Services. Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, similar story. DC's just as good of a place as there is in the entire country to attract talent, particularly young talent. The restaurants, the stores, the culture, it's a place that people want to be, knowing that we are building a headquarters here for the long term. Super exciting for our firm, and sets us up great for the future.
Thank you guys for being here today. We truly appreciate you taking time out of your very aggressive schedules. Can you please give these three companies a round of applause, their commitment to be here in the city? Thank you so much. Also, I would like to thank the Washington, D.C. Economic Partnership. They have also been a partner as we have been focused on the Vitality Fund. I would like to give them a shout out and thank them for their collaboration and partnership as well. Thank you.
All right, let's give our panelists one more round of applause. Thank you for making the obvious decision to grow in DC. And for everyone's benefit, let me just remind you that information about the Vitality Fund, Robust Retail, Neighborhood Prosperity Fund, all of the opportunities that we've been talking about today are available at obviously.dc.gov. All right? So we're going to move into the real estate and neighborhood development component of today's agenda. To kick that off, we're going to hear from a few folks in Anacostia and learn a little bit about some of the projects and programs that are helping to create new food access points, affordable housing, and other amenities. So let's take a look at this video.
Welcome to Anacostia. My name is Christina Noel, and I am the Executive Director of the Anacostia Business Improvement District. For years, the Anacostia BID has worked with Mayor Muriel Bowser and the Deputy Mayor's Office of Planning and Economic Development to revitalize the commercial district along Good Hope Road. We've attracted sit-down restaurants like Busboys and Poets, national chains like Starbucks, and co-working spaces like the Capital One Cafe. We are also proud to have connected minority business owners to funding opportunities such as DEMPED's Food Access Fund, Neighborhood Prosperity Fund, and Commercial Acquisition Fund. These focused investments have attracted businesses such as Kitchen Savages, D-City Smokehouse, and the Go-Go Museum, ensuring our residents east of the river have access to amenities and cultural institutions. We're also excited about what's to come. In February, Mayor Bowser selected Victory Housing to develop the 1234 Good Hope Road parcels into a mixed-use community. The project will deliver affordable rental and homeownership opportunities for families and affordable senior building and community serving retail. Mayor Bowser's investments in Anacostia have transformed the commercial district along Good Hope Road and fostered a community of Black entrepreneurs, restaurateurs, and artists committed to investing in Ward 8 and the residents east of the river while honoring the rich history of this beloved neighborhood.
Anacostia, great DEMPED partner. I am going to turn us now to real estate. The next person is no stranger to the real estate development community in DC. Sarosh Alpadwala, Director of Real Estate at DEMPED, is going to join us.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Sharon. Good morning. My name is Sarosh Alpadwala. I'm the Director of Real Estate in DEMPED. And as Sharon mentioned, I'll be providing updates today for our DEMPED RFPs. I'm grateful for Mayor Bowser and Deputy Mayor John Falchicchio's leadership, my team's countless hours and dedication, and the community's continued engagement on our projects, and of course to all of you, the industry, for making these projects a reality. This year, prior to announcing our new RFPs, we wanted to provide an update on some of the RFPs that we've discussed in prior years. First up, we have 1617 U Street, better known as Metropolitan 3rd District, Metropolitan Police 3rd District, and DC Fire Engine 9, and that's in Ward 1. And as you can see from the map, there is quite a lot going on there, and DEMPED has been working with our sister agencies to determine a viable phasing plan, and so that RFP will be released on May 30th of this year. Next up, we have the FEMS site. This is the historic Engine Company 3, which also houses the DC Fire and EMS Museum. And over the past year, our sister agencies, DGS and DOEE, have been expertly leading efforts to offsite the DOEE facility, and so DEMPED will issue that RFP in April 30th of this year, so it's coming right up. Next, we have the Chevy Chase DPR Recreation Facility and DC Public Library, and DEMPED has been working closely with the community and the council member and the ANC on ensuring that the development meets the needs of the community, and to further enhance those efforts and to ensure that all stakeholders have meaningful input into the RFP, we have determined to use the Mayor Bowser's innovative Our RFP process for the site. So the Our RFP is an inclusive process that combines, yes, okay, thank you. The Our RFP is an inclusive process that combines public education and facilitated discussions to provide maximum transparency throughout the RFP process, as well as ensuring accountability for delivering on public benefits and community commitments. Finally, for our prior RFP updates, we have 501 Rhode Island Avenue, also known as Engine 12, and we are pleased to announce that we are awarding the right to negotiate to Rift Valley Partners. Rift Valley Partners is proposing to build a state-of-the-art new fire station according to the RFP, or as required by the RFP, and over 150 new units of housing, both market and affordable. We are excited by this project as it will activate a highly visible corner in a thriving neighborhood 1 block from the metro and across the street from the new Bryant Street development. Okay, now on to our new RFP announcements. First, we have Chinatown's Engine 2, which is across the street from one of DC's original comeback engines, the Capital One Arena, and it's walking distance from 3 metros, including the one we're at. It's actually just across the street. This is an ideal site to provide housing in downtown with the D2 zoning, allowing for substantial density. The fire station was built in 1979 and will need to be replaced on site. We expect to release this RFP in late fall of this year. Next, we have the Rita Bright Family and Youth Youth Center in Ward 1. On the map, you can see that immediately to the north is the Terrell, the short-term family housing property completed in 2021. At approximately 28,000 square feet of land, this is a large enough site to provide for substantial housing as well as returning the recreation center to the site. This RFP will be released toward the end of this year. Next, we have 2 development sites at the St. Elizabeth's campus, which has seen tremendous development under Mayor Bowser's leadership in the past 8 years. We will soon be celebrating 2 new projects on the campus, cutting the ribbon on the new Whitman Walker building and this year, and the new Cedar Hill Regional Medical Center next year. So quite an accomplishment. Thank you. Our first parcel at St. Elizabeth's is parcel 6, which is actually, as you can see, a very large parcel that hugs 13th Street and backs into a forested area. The latter can actually provide security standoff for secure office tenants or beautiful views from residential and hotel balconies. The RFP is in its final stages of drafting, and we would actually like to issue it this month. Thank you. Next, we have Parcel 1, known as the Farm Parcel. As the name implies, this area of land was used to grow all of the food and livestock for the original hospital. At that time, the hospital was actually entirely self-sufficient. DEMPED stabilized and renovated the horse stables in 2020, and in partnership with Destination Congress Heights, has transformed them into a vibrant marketplace that includes local vendors, community programming, and different events. In continuing Mayor Bowser's efforts to increase fresh food access to underserved areas of the district and honoring the parcel's agricultural history, DEMPED is seeking proposals that will create a vibrant destination to grow, purchase, and sell fresh food. Finally, we have a unique opportunity at Barry Farm. As Sharon mentioned, economic development is about improving outcomes for all of our residents. And that includes participating at a meaningful level in all of our development projects. To that end, the current developer, Preservation for Affordable Housing, or POA, is seeking a local minority development partner to lead the homeownership component in Phase 1. This will include approximately 50 townhomes located between Sumner and Eden Roads, as you can see on the map. The solicitation will be issued and managed by POA. As a reminder, all DEMPED RFPs will be issued as equity RFPs, Mayor Bowser's groundbreaking initiative to enhance equity in the real estate industry and make DC's prosperity more inclusive. For more information on these projects, please visit our website, recipient.dc.gov. We look forward to continuing to work with all of you, the community, and our agency partners on development in Washington, D.C. Am I transitioning?
Looks like you're done.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarosh. Folks, if you don't have your notepads out yet, get them out now because we are in the rapid fire phase of RFPs. I'm going to welcome Director Keith Anderson of the Department of General Services to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Keith Anderson, the Director of the Department of General Services, where our job is to build, maintain, and sustain the District of Columbia's real estate portfolio. For those of you who did not know, the District of Columbia's real estate portfolio is valued at just over $19 billion, has over 680 buildings, and as I stand before you today, we have over 300 active construction projects with about $2 billion in investments made by the mayor across all 8 wards. So I'm really excited to share some of the opportunities that we have coming down the pike for you to take advantage of. First up is our project located in Ward 6. The J.O. Wilson Elementary School will undergo a modernization to support their academic and instructional programming. This project will be a combination of new construction and renovation. There is a project completion date of summer of 2026. This is a $75 million project, and I am pleased to announce that the RFP for this project has been released within the last week, so this opportunity is available now. Next is a DC Health and Human Services project in Ward 8, Madison Shelter upgrades. Interior upgrades include bathroom, lighting, HVAC, window replacement, storage space, and site improvements. The solicitation will go out in April for winter 2024 completion. The budget for this project is $4 million. Next is the Ward 8 Senior Wellness Center modernization. This is a Department of Aging and Community Living project in the design phase. It will be a 13,000 square foot facility located on the grounds of the existing Kramer Middle School parking lot. This development will support senior wellness and recreation. It includes a gym, meeting rooms, and educational space for operations and services. The RFP will be released this spring, and completion is anticipated for fall of 2024. It is budgeted at $10 million. On behalf of this Public Safety and Justice Cluster, we are working on the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement Headquarters Renovation Project. Located in Ward 7, just a few blocks from where DGS will be moving our headquarters next month. The project includes basement level MEP, life safety systems, upgrades, remediation to structure and classroom office renovations throughout the facility. This solicitation will go out next month, and we expect a completion date of early 2024. The budget for this project is $3 million. The last project is a Department of Parks and Recreation project, the Rosedale Recreation Center Pool Replacement Project in Ward 7. DGS will redesign and expand the existing pool, install large shade structures, and renovate the pool deck. The RFP for this will be released this spring, and completion on the replacement is set for summer of 2024. The project budget is $6.8 million. For a full listing of available solicitations, please visit DGS at dgs.dc.gov and visit as often as you can, as new project opportunities become available almost daily. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Director. So who here knows that DC is consistently ranked the city with the best park system in the country? Fact. All right, I'm going to introduce the guy responsible for that, Director Delano Hunter of the Department of Parks and Recreation. Come on
up. She stole my best line. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Delano Hunter, and again, I'm proud to serve as the director of the D.C. Department of Parks and Recreation. And as she indicated, we're proud of the fact that D.C. for the last 2 years have been ranked as having the best park service or best park system in the United States. Now, of course, we share that distinction with the National Park Service and the great monuments, but really it's the local investments that are leading the way and have increased our scores for access and equity. We're talking about our community gardens, our pools, our playgrounds, our fields, and all of the great things that make D.C. special. So we are one of the largest district landowners with more than 850 acres of green space, 243 park sites, 104 playgrounds, and over 100 recreation and aquatic facilities. So we have 3 projects that I'll share that are near and dear to my heart, and we're partnering with the Department of General Services for 3 RFPs that will be released this spring. All right, next slide. The first is the Hillcrest Recreation Center, which is located in Ward 7, and we're doing the first here. We are building a pool. This is the first time we would have constructed a pool in addition to an existing facility. So this is a $15 million project located at 3100 Denver Street in Ward 7, and the renovation will include a new aquatic annex on this campus, and DGS on behalf of DPR is crafting an RFP solicitation to hire a firm that will work with the community for this state-of-the-art indoor pool, which will have multiple swim lanes, a splash feature, locker room, lifeguards offices, and support spaces. So look forward to an RFP this firm to bring an architect on board. Next slide. All right, this is the Anacostia outdoor pool. So this is the oldest pool in our inventory. In fact, it was created and it was initially constructed in 1945 and was amongst the first pools to be desegregated in 1949. An interesting fact, this is the site of what is believed to be the first and only race riot in the District of Columbia when it was desegregated in 1949. So this has a significant meaning and we want to do right. The pool has served us well and we're excited about the $7 million investment. This will allow us to expand the pool to 50 meters to allow for more lap swimming, swimming meets, and swim practices. The new pool will conform to all swim meet standards while offering expanded health and wellness opportunities to residents in Ward 8. So be on the lookout for this RFP this spring to bring an architect on board. And last but not least, the Randall Recreation Center. If you look in the right-hand corner, at the very end, you'll see a facility. You see like a tannish orange roof. That used to be an old city dog pound, which is now the Randall Recreation Center, and we are constructing this facility with an $18.5 million budget. Again, this facility dates back to the 1930s, and these two facilities on this campus will include that recreation center, which has an historical designation. We'll also make upgrades to the pool house and the pool, and we'll expand it to a 50-meter pool. And also we'll make upgrades to the athletic fields, the sports courts, the playgrounds, and the community plaza. Again, we're working with DGS on the RFP now and expect for that to be released this spring. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director. So when we think about DC comeback plans, big goals, one of them being retaining and attracting residents to our city, our parks and our facilities are part of what makes quality of life here attractive. So this is such important work. Our next speaker is from one of our newer quasi-governmental entities, the DC Green Bank. And I am pleased to welcome interim CEO Jean Nelson-Halper to the stage.
Welcome. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank Mayor Bowser, Deputy Mayor Felchicchio, and the entire DEMPED team for the opportunity to be with you today. Happy to join the chorus of city agencies demonstrating that DC is open for business. My name is Jean Nelson-Halper. I am the interim CEO and Chief Financial Officer at the Green Finance Authority, commonly known as DC Green Bank. The Green Finance Authority was established under the leadership of Mayor Bowser and the City Council as an independent district agency to lend public dollars and work with financing partners to crowd in private capital for development projects within the district. Green banks, like us, are mission-driven financial institutions that makes affordable loans to deploy clean energy systems, increase energy efficiencies, save money for businesses and residents, and accelerate progress towards meeting climate, environment, energy resilience, workforce development, and public health goals set by the district. So what does that mean for you? This means that we are ready to engage with district's communities and stakeholders to find ways to bring affordable financing that saves you money on your capital, operating and maintenance costs, and to help you pursue other goals that you may have for your property and the communities around us. Next slide, please. When I say we're open for business, I really mean it. As you can see behind me, We have increased our deployment of capital dramatically since our founding, and we want to make everyone aware that we're here and ready to deliver your financing needs. No matter what stage of project development you're in, we can help. From pre-development, construction, or full-scale financing, we are ready and able to help you through that process. We want to hear from you in the early stages of your project's development in order to introduce you to concepts and partners that can deliver financial savings for you and our climate and environment, as well as provide community benefits for the district. If you're moving forward with the project, or even thinking about moving forward with the project, that may include solar panels, green energy efficiency upgrades, electric vehicle or charging infrastructure, stormwater abatements, do not wait to reach out to us. Please reach out as soon as you can to our fantastic team to help the conversation started. We're able to lend directly to you and your projects, and as the PACE administrator for the DC PACE program, we work with capital providers, the mayor's office, to deliver PACE notes for your project as well. Our information is on our screen behind us. You can reach out to me. I'll be here during the reception if you would like a card to contact us about our wonderful work to deliver transformational project to ensure that you are part of the future of the district's comeback initiative and goals. Thank you, and I look forward to hearing from you to bring your projects to life.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, who here has heard of our 36,000 by 2025 housing goal? I should see every single hand in this room up in the air because we have talked about this pretty much every single day since 2019. Any guesses on how far we are in meeting our goal? 12,000 affordable and 36,000 total new units. Any guesses on how far along we are percentage-wise towards 36,000? Did I hear 50%? It's higher. 65? It's higher. 75? It's higher. It's 79%. Yeah. And it's not just because of the district agencies that are here, it's because of the partners in this room and beyond this room who are helping to deliver new housing, especially affordable housing. So we're gonna shift into the last part of March Madness today. It's the housing focus. We're gonna kick that off with a video, so everyone take a look at the screen.
I'm Brittany Freeman. I'm the executive for Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. My home buying process was that I started as an intern with DC Homeland Security Emergency Management, and I worked my way up to a government employee. And once I became a government employee, I started researching how can I purchase a home to maintain legacy for my children. And I heard about HPAP and EHAP, and once I heard about that, I decided to apply and use the CBO, and they helped me with financial literacy, financial resources, credit repair, and budgeting. Buying this home for my family needs is creating a generational wealth and legacy for my children that my forefathers could not do.
She is a testament to what residents can do with the programs that district government provides. Brittany is a true inspiration. So next, I want to introduce the director of an agency that administers at least one of the programs that Brittany was able to utilize, Colleen Green, acting director of the Department of Housing and Community Development.
Good afternoon. So I won't say my name again because she just said it, but I will lower this because I'm 5'2" and shrinking. So this is my first March Madness event as acting director of DHCD. Before I get into the details, I want to give a shout out to Kitchen Savage. Their crab cake egg rolls are delicious. So please come to Anacostia and enjoy some of those. That was free. It's been great to see what my colleagues are offering and the amazing opportunities available in the district. As many of you are aware, Mayor Bowser convened the Black Home Ownership Strike Force last year and set a bold goal of 20,000 new Black homeowners in the district. With that in mind, all of our opportunities today have a focus on home ownership and building equity and inclusion in our development community. So for our slide 1, our first solicitation is at 58th and Dick Street Northeast. It is 32,000 square foot vacant lot in Ward 7 at the corner of 58th and Dick Street Northeast. The site is currently zoned MU4, which permits moderate density mixed use development. Marvin Gaye Park and Watts Branch Trail are nearby, and we're looking for a development partner to help us bring home ownership opportunities to this site. Next, we have 1444 through 1454 Alabama Avenue Southeast. It's an opportunity in Ward 8's Congress Heights. This vacant lot is almost 13,000 square feet and is currently zoned RA1, which permits low to moderate density development, including detached dwellings and row houses. This site is a 5-minute walk from Congress Heights Metro, and we're excited to find a development partner to help bring home ownership to this neighborhood as well. Slide 3 is Benning Road. It's our final large site solicitation today. It's a lot on the corner of Benning Road and G Street Southeast in Ward 7. It is approximately 68,000 square feet and currently zoned RA1, which permits low to moderate density development, including detached buildings and row houses. This site is a 5-minute drive from Fort DuPont Park and is right up the street from the J.W. King Senior Center. These 3 large site solicitations are live today and on our website at dhcd.dc.gov. We look forward to working with you to create more homeowners in the city. Our last slide is about equity RFPs. I want to talk to you about our opportunities that we call equity RFPs, where we look to create home ownership opportunities while helping build capacity among our smaller and new housing providers. These are smaller rehabilitation opportunities that are a perfect way to build experience and capacity in our development communities by including a preference for small, local, and socially disadvantaged partners to help make a more equitable and inclusive business community that can help build housing and to provide a more equitable and inclusive DC. All 4 of these equity RFPs are available today on our website, and as you can see on the slide are existing homes that we need partners to help renovate into home ownership opportunities for our residents. The sites are 202 36th Street Southeast, 1325 Montello Avenue Northeast, 2206 16th Street Southeast, 4404 Foot Street Northeast. I'll close by saying we can't reach our goal without partners, and to please check out all of these opportunities today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Green. Next, we're going to go to the DC Housing Authority. I'd like to welcome Executive Director Brenda Donald to talk through the opportunities with the Housing Authority.
Thank you. Thanks, Sharon. All right, good afternoon. We're winding down, right? So first I want to acknowledge the chair of our board, Ray Skinner, who is here. And thank you. Yes, he needs a lot of applause because he does an amazing job in supporting our team. And John Stringfield, who runs our Office of Capital Programs, is here, and Andre Gould, who is over our development end. Those are important people that you want to follow up with. So we have today to bring to you 4 projects. Our first one, you can go to that slide, is our Sursum Quarter project. And here we're looking for co-development partners. This is a really important project. It's right adjacent to the New Communities Northwest 1 site. And a really important point for those who've done business with DCHA before, this one already has demolition and disposition approval from HUD. Those who've done business with us know that that's really important. And so we want the development team to come up with the highest and best use for the property, but also maximizing affordable housing. It's currently zoned as RA4. It's up to 8 stories and could hold approximately 130 units. And that one will be issued this summer. Our next project is a square at Capper, Carrollsburg, and this is a big piece of dirt that's been there for a long time. I got another one right behind it, so we're very excited to get these projects moving. We're looking for co-development partners. We're going to be issuing this in the fall, and it's currently being used as a parking lot. The Housing Authority is not in the parking lot business. I want to get out of the parking lot business and get back into housing development. So this one has been approved under a Stage 1 PUD for a 6-story mixed-use building containing 147 dwelling units with also retail. More importantly, and I got to point out, the property will require a minimum of 55 replacement units of affordable housing. Next slide is a companion lot as part of that development as well, Square 768. Again, looking for co-development partners. This one will come out this winter. We have the current zoning is MU10, allowing for ground floor retail topped with up to 352 residential units, and will also require 73 replacement units of affordable housing. And the final one we're bringing to you today is our Kelly Miller project, which is right next to Howard University. It's one of our smaller housing developments that contains walk-up buildings as well as townhomes. And here we're going to have a offering for 294 housing units, again with a mix of townhomes, walk-up buildings, and mid-rise. The building, this is part of our Build First project there, that is on a little less than an acre, and it's currently another parking lot. So we're looking for that project to come out in the fall of this year. So please, we hope that there's a lot of excitement. DCHA is open for business, and we are excited to offer these opportunities. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, I want you to savor these last couple of moments of the 9th Annual March Madness because it's almost over, all right? Savor them. When we talk about affordable housing, land use is one of the most important factors that weighs into our ability to develop it. So next up, Anita Kozart, Director of the Office of Planning.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to be here to share how the Office of Planning is working to advance the housing goals and the DC Comeback Plan. Last year, the Streets for People initiative brought over 110,000 people back to our downtown with over 104 activities. And building upon that success, today the Office of Planning is kicking off a public realm plan which will generate design ideas that will make our downtown streets, alleys, plazas, and parks safer and more enjoyable for residents, workers, and visitors. By the end of this year, 2023, we will release a final downtown public realm plan that shows how we can elevate downtown as a livable place for 15,000 new residents by 2028, one of the key goals of Mayor Bowser's comeback plan. Yeah, I think that's worth a clap. So the comeback plan also sets goals around eliminating key amenity gaps, including access to food, broadband, recreation, and the like. And you've heard a lot of opportunities today, a lot of investments that are being made in order to close some of those gaps. There's another gap that exists that maybe you feel but are not necessarily conscious of, especially in wards 4, 5, 7, and 8. And that is civic spaces that commemorate the lived experience and contributions of Black Washingtonians and other people of color. And so in a few weeks, the Office of Planning will launch a brand new program to provide design assistance to residents, community partners, and local artists who in each of these wards who will be able to identify design commemorative works for their communities. We are very proud to be partnering with Main Streets on this, including the Upper Georgia Avenue Main Street, the Parks Main Street, the Ward 7 Business Partnership, and Destination Congress Heights. So let's have a round of applause for those organizations. Lastly, it's important, one of the important tools that we can influence is around land use and zoning. And so we're very pleased to be making changes and advancing reforms to the zoning code that advance the goals of the comeback plan and makes progress, continued progress towards the goals that Sharon reported on earlier. These zoning reforms are going to allow for a redevelopment project that features new housing, a new recreation center, and a new library in the Chevy Chase neighborhood. It's also going to support increased development along Pennsylvania Avenue Southeast. It'll also yield 1,300 new housing units in Navy Yard East and remove barriers for homeowners who want to build accessory apartments and or housing on alley lots. Lastly, I want to really shout out some of our faith-based institutions and mission-driven affordable housing providers, because there's a really significant opportunity that exists. An estimated 6 million square feet of underutilized land in the district. And over the last 18 months, OP has worked with these organizations to rezone properties in alignment with our comprehensive plan, our guide for growth and development in the district, and that's resulted in over 1,000 new housing units for DC families. We are currently working with faith-based property owners where we expect to bring in the coming months housing to 13 additional sites in the district. And this is just a small snapshot of some of the things that we're doing to advance the goals of Mayor Bowser's comeback plan and our goals for 36K by 2025. And you can learn more about this and how you can engage by visiting planning.dc.gov or go old school and give us a call at 202-442-7600. Thank you.
All right, OP's going old school. I hope you guys got those digits. Next, I'm going to bring up our closer, Director Ernest Schrappa from the Department of Buildings. How did you get this coveted position? Please join us at the podium.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I know we pressed on time, so I'm going to keep it brief and try to take us home. I am Ernest Schrappa. I'm the Acting Director of the DC Department of Buildings. In the spirit of March Madness, I would ask you to just reflect on this for a second. If you look at the last 10 years, or the history of the tournament in particular, what is the one thing that all the teams who've had an amazing and remarkable run had in common? I got one here. It is an efficient offense, an offensive system that when you need buckets for a comeback, it will deliver for you. At the DC Department of Buildings, we have an offensive system as well to support housing and real estate, and it's largely tech-powered innovation. Whether it was the Uber for Housing Inspections program, or our Permit Wizard, or virtual plan reviews to support building and construction projects before Teams and Zoom became cool, we had all of that. But now, as we look at the comeback, we have a few initiatives under the leadership of Muriel Bowser that I'm excited to share with you. Next slide. The first is on our public dashboard. It's called the DOB Index. It is a forward-looking indicator on where the economy is headed from a lens of construction activity. By looking at the charts and graphs, you can get a good sense of whether the economy is going up or is going down. Secondly, next slide. We've built a program to deal with some of the staffing shortages that everybody is struggling with. We've partnered with several universities in the area to create a career pathways program where students in architecture or engineering or related fields can get paid to get trained in the department so they can have a view of the role they can play before they actually take a six-figure job with us. Additionally, we've created an online platform to upskill our current employees and provide a program where new employees can get the appropriate training they need to enhance building safety, protect residents who are in vulnerable communities, and ensure that we can advance the built environment. Next slide. We also have the Vacant Visual Program, which is designed to accelerate the return of vacant and blighted properties into productive use. What we do through this program is we work with local artists from our communities to beautify vacant properties to attract investments. Each year, we bring over 300 properties into productive use. And with this program in particular, we'll be expanding it this fiscal year into the metaverse. What it means is that for the artists who help beautify this program, we will mint their artwork so that they can sell it and raise money for their future endeavors. We'll be the first jurisdiction to do that. And as part of this program, I want to share with you that next Tuesday, we'll be having an event so that you can meet the artists in their program and learn about some of the real estate opportunities that are available based on vacant buildings in the district. Next slide. Another initiative I'm really thrilled about is our AI-powered building plan review. By now, if you've not heard about ChatGPT, you should Google that. It is this technology that allows you to do things in minutes instead of hours. We've partnered with a private sector organization to do a proof of concept. And when I shared it with my team, we were stunned. A plan review that should take a few hours, this tool was able to do it in 4 minutes. So think about the efficiencies and the productivity that we can bring to the development process when we are able to deploy this at scale. The possibilities are endless, but we have a lot of work ahead of us. Next slide. Certificate of occupancy is one thing that we spend a lot of time on, and when you finish your construction project, if you don't have it, you can't occupy the building. So this year, we are spending time to refine the process so that we can honor our service level commitment to our customers that if you apply with the proper documentation, you will get it in 7 business days. There's a lot that we are able to do under the leadership of Mayor Bowser, your support as customers, your collaboration, and your engagement. So as we bring today's event to a close, I'd like to ask you to stay in touch, share your ideas, and contact me if there's any way you can be a partner. Thank you.
And that, my friends, brings March Madness to a close. I would like to thank the 15 different agencies who came here today to share opportunities. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you to our speakers, our panelists who shared their expertise and perspective. Let's hear it for Eileen Fuchs and the National Building Museum. Thank you to our hosts. Okay, to our camera crew, our event production team, we appreciate you. And finally, like so many things we do, March Madness has been a true interagency effort. So thank you so much to the DemPed team, to the PIOs from across the DemPed cluster and beyond. This took a lot of work, and you have done an amazing job. Last, we need to give a round of applause to Angelica Maddox and Mary Arabaga Reardon. Where's Mary? Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Angelica. They led this amazing event today. So everyone, we've got a lot ahead of us. Headwinds or not, we've got a lot of opportunities. So I want you to channel Jaron Price and bring your energy, because we've got a lot of opportunities ahead of us, and we will get through this together. Thank you very much.